everyone, this is Sumaya Azam, your English teacher from Gardenia Public School. Welcomes you all to the YouTube channel that is ESA means English with Sumaya Azam. The topic which we are going to discuss today is of class 9 CBSE as well as ICSE, and it's an interesting topic. As you can see is mentioned here on the board also. Topic, yes, which we are going to discuss today is modals. What is modals and why is it necessary to study this topic? What is the need of this topic in our daily life? Is it somewhere beneficial? Is it somewhere important? Or does it take us important place in our life? So this is what we are going to discuss here in this video. So just stay tuned with the video and let's have a look at what are the uses of modals and why do we use these modals. With the topic, it is very necessary to know that what are actually modals and what are modal auxiliaries. Modal auxiliaries are those verbs. These are the verbs which are used with the main verbs. Modal auxiliaries are those verbs which are used with the main verb and that shows some or the other possibilities, necessity, suggestion, any importance or any such thing. So modal auxiliaries are those verbs which are used with the main verbs. We can have any of the modal auxiliaries just like can, should, would, must or to, and these are used with the main verbs to show any of the suggestion, possibility, necessity, etc. So before starting, the first modal auxiliary which we are going to discuss is must. Now as you can see, I have mentioned here 4 uses, that where in what case this must is used. Let's have a look. Must is used, first of all, it is used to express obligation. Now what is this obligation? In simple words, if we talk about it, so obligation is something that is must to be obeyed. Something that is to be obeyed. Suppose that if I say that she must obey her parents. So this is what we are showing, an obligation. So in that case we use must. Secondly, it is used to express compulsion. Something that is very much necessary to be done. Or if we say it is like ordering, someone is ordering to someone to do something. If someone is ordering someone to do something, that is also compulsion form and there we use must. Thirdly, must is used for prohibition. One more thing to be noted. In prohibition, we always use the negative form. Suppose if I talk of a sentence, she must not enter those fields. So this is what we are prohibiting. The last is, it is used for some or the other empathic advice. Suppose that if I say that she must consult the doctor at once. She must consult the doctor at once. So this is what we are advising a person. So this is where must is used. Most important thing. Must can be used with all the persons. Doesn't matter if it is first person, second person or third person. It can be used with all the persons. The second modal auxiliary which we are going to discuss are have to and had to. As we know it very well that have is the present form, whereas had is the past form. Have is the present form and had is the past form. In the same very manner, the usage of both also depends on the tense here. Have to and had to. First thing, it is used to express some or the other obligation and necessity. Just like must only, it is also used to express the obligation or the necessity. The only difference is that have to is used for the present one and had to is used for the past one. Secondly, these both are used in the case of advice, wheresoever we are expressing some or the other advice. In that case also, we use either have to or the had to. Last, it is used to denote something that is very important. As discussed in the first point also, it is used to denote the necessity. Same thing is showing here also, that have to or had to are used to denote something that is very important. So in these cases we use have to and had to. One more thing, if you have noticed also, the use of both have to, had to, must, they are to an extent they are the same one. If we go through the points also which are mentioned here, which are telling us the usage of these modal auxiliaries, so we can observe one thing, that the uses for must also we were having obligation and necessity. We were having empathic advice also there. We are denoting here something that is very much important, and same there for must we were having something, some or the other compulsions. So to an extent the usage for both must and have to and had to is same. Simply it depends on the tense and depends on the kind of the sentence given to us. As we have also studied that must is a kind of modal auxiliary that can be used with any of the person. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it is the first person, second person or the third person. All these three can carry must with it. Okay. Let us move to the next modal auxiliary and see what we are having next. The next modal auxiliary which we are going to study is should. Now, what are the uses of should? The first point, if you can see, it is used in the indirect speech. Whenever we change, first thing is that we know that shall, should is a past form of shall. Should is a past form of shall, and it is majorly used in the indirect speech. Wherever we are talking of the indirect speech, it is majorly discussed there. Suppose that if we talk of a sentence, I said, I shall go to school tomorrow, full stop, inverted commas closed. Now, the given sentence is in the direct speech, and whenever we are changing this into the indirect speech, as we have already studied about this in class 8 also, that what are the rules to change a sentence from direct to indirect. So I feel like that I don't have to go that briefly, because indirect we will study. It is the upcoming topic, but then let's have here in brief. So I said, as soon as we remove this comma, inverted comma, we add a conjunction here, that. I said that I shall will be changed into should. As I told that should is a past form of shall. I said that I should go to school, and tomorrow will be changed into yes, the next day. The next day, and the sentence gets changed into indirect speech. I said that I should go to school the next day. So this is where we use this should, the modal auxiliary should is used. Secondly, should is also used wheresoever we are stating some or we are expressing some or the other duties. You should respect to your elders. You should perform, you should work hard in order to get a good result. So in that case we use this should. Secondly, next, if we are giving some or the other suggestions, in the case of suggestions also we use should. Then somewhere if we are stating some or the other purpose, what kind of purpose are we talking about? Then what kind of purpose are we talking about? Suppose that if we say Mohan walked fast, so he should catch the train. If we talk of this sentence, Mohan walked fast, so he should catch the train. So why Mohan is walking here fast? Mohan यहाँ पे तेज अगर चल रहा है या जा रहा है, तो what is the reason behind it? So this, that yes, he has to catch the train. This is the purpose that denotes the use of should here. So this is the purpose why Mohan walked fast. So in such cases where it is denoting some or the other purpose, in that case we use the modal auxiliary should. Then the last, should is also used to state any of the imaginary result. Any of the imaginary result. Let's have a look. Let's understand it better with the help of an example. Suppose that if I talk of a sentence, he should get angry. He should get angry if he come to know about it. Now here we are discussing about of an imaginary result. Suppose that you are having a elder brother or sister and firstly, so let me clear you that this younger ones are the younger siblings. They are the most irritating elements of the family. This is what I personally believe. But then let's take an example of an elder one. Suppose if you are having any of the other elder brother or sister at your home, and you by mistake, or I should say that unfortunately you broke any of the expensive or any of the most lovable something of his, any of the article of his or her, you just get to, you means you will be very much able to imagine that what is going to be the result when he or she will come to know. Suppose that if there is a favorite pen of any of your sibling, any of your elder sibling, and you by mistake just misplaced it somewhere, or you are unable to find it, you have borrowed from him or her, and now you are unable to find, you are very much able to understand that what the result now is going to be. So in such cases where you are stating any of the imaginary result, you know that anger, what kind of anger he or she would be having. So in such cases, we use this modal auxiliary should. Then the last use for is that it is used to show any of the polite request. Any of the polite request, let us understand it better with the help of an example. Suppose if I talk of a sentence, I should be thankful to you. I should be thankful to you if you give me your pen. So here we are making a polite request to someone that if he or she gives me his or her pen, I would be thankful to that person. So in such cases, wherever we are making any of the other polite request, in that case we use this modal auxiliary should. Further, if we talk of need, so need is used without with an infinitive. It is followed with an infinitive, and that too without to. It is followed with an infinitive but without to. Now what are the uses of it? First of all, though, it is used wherever we are showing the absence of obligation. Till now we were studying about the obligation. Now the absence of obligation means somewhere where there is no need to perform some or the other task. In that case, we say that it is there in the absence of obligation. Let us understand it better with the help of an example. Suppose that if we say they need not send the letter now. So this sentence, they need not send the letter now. So this sentence is somewhere showing that now there is no need to send this letter. So it is showing the absence of obligation or the absence of necessity. There is no need to send the letter now. So in such case, we use this modal auxiliary need. Secondly, again it is used to express the obligation wherever there is the need to do something. Suppose that if we talk of a sentence, need I attend the class ? So here it is expressing the obligation. Although we don't know the result, whether the answer will be yes or no, but then it is somewhere expressing the obligation. If we talk of the last point, here it is given that need not plus perfect infinitive. Perfect infinitive wherever we will be having have plus the third form of the verb. Obviously, we know we have studied in tense also that along with have it always carries the third form of the verb. So need not plus the perfect infinitive, it shows about any of the unnecessary action that was performed. If we talk of any of the action which was performed and it was of no use, Suppose that if I say that you need not go to visit the doctor tomorrow. Sorry, you need not go to visit doctor today. He was on leave. So this is somewhere we are showing that an action which was performed, that girl who went there or the boy who went there to consult the doctor, that doctor was on leave. So this was somewhere an unnecessary action that was performed. So these are the uses where we use the modal auxiliary need. Then the last auxiliary which we are having is ought. Ought is majorly used whenever we are having to plus an infinitive. As we studied earlier for need was something which was followed by an infinitive without to. But ought will be having an infinitive as well as to. Now where this ought is used? It is used to express what is right or sensible, or it also expresses that what is something right way to behave. Suppose if we say that you ought to get up earlier, you ought to go to morning exercise daily. So this is something that we are telling that this particular thing is right. This particular habit is right for you. Secondly, ought to is also used when we are having a strong belief or strongly we are expecting something to happen. Suppose if I say that the Indian cricket team is ought to win. So here we are having that strong expectation. Here we are having that strong belief that no, definitely my Indian cricket team will win. So in such cases we use ought. Second thing, majority the use of should and ought. Majorly the use of should and ought is somewhere similar. Or we can say that rather of should we can also use ought, or at the place of ought we can use should, because majority their uses are similar to each other. So the 5 modal auxiliaries that we discussed today are, let's have a look. We discussed about must, obligation, necessity, suggestion, advice. Then we discussed about have to or had to. We know that this is a past form, this is a present form. Next, we talked of should. We know that should is the past form of shall. Next, we talked of need. Need is something that is followed by an infinitive but without to. And then the last we discussed about ought to. And this is an this is a modal auxiliary which is followed by an infinitive and that too along with to. So these are the 5 modal auxiliaries which we discussed today. As I have already told that this was from the syllabus of class 9 CBSE as well as the ICSE. Further, we will be getting many more videos till that time. Keep on watching and keep on revising your contents which you have already studied. Wish you all the very best. Thank you.